I also did launch a newsletter under my personal LinkedIn a week ago. No, it was 6 days ago. Thank you to all of you who have already subscribed. We're up to 2,200 people that subscribed in 6 days, and I was pretty amazed at that. We also passed 7,500 people who follow our Venture Starters LinkedIn page. So the community is thriving and we're growing, and we're going to try a few new things as we get into the end of winter and beginning of spring. Real excited to still be part of all of this, and I appreciate all of you who continue to come. So let's move on to our fabulous women founders and hear from them first. I'm going to literally have to just pick you out of the crowd and announce you by name. So we're going to start off with Lynn Donaldson. Lynn, you're our first for tonight.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for honoring women, and gentlemen, I honor you too. And it's funny you should say about the pharmaceutical and medical devices meeting coming up. I am registered. I have been in pharmaceutical and medical devices the whole of my working life. And what we do at Connect-A Strategic Solutions Group is we help you launch your valuable products to the market. We helped one company make $1.3 billion extra at launch. That was a large pharmaceutical company, admittedly, but we can help you launch your products successfully. We do that with our three-pronged approach, which is people. It's all about the team. Have you got the right team players? It's product. It's the product strategy. We help you develop the strategy and then implement to that strategy. And then the process, which is all about how do you get that strategy out there to your team and working cohesively and collaborating. And that's through Lily Launch Tools, which is a collaboration between myself and Rajiv Jadhav, who you'll hear from shortly. But if you want to have your product launched and get the maximum amount of business at sales at launch, we're the people for you. Thank you very much. Lynn Donaldson from Connect-A Strategic Solutions Group. Thank you, Mark.
So Lynn, can you help explain how you make money?
How we make money. So we work with clients for 3 to 4 years before launch, and we work with them 2 or 3 days a week. Our consultants go in and we'll help the companies develop their product, their strategy, and then implement that strategy. We use Lily Launch Tools to pull the strategy together. And while my consultants are doing the consulting to get the strategy developed, I work with the leadership team to keep them at peak performance while they're launching their product. They stay at peak performance when things happen. We do the what if scenario planning, and so that anything that's thrown at them, they can beat. So we work with our clients, as I say, 3 to 4 years before launch, and we work on an annual basis. We've worked with some clients 8, 9 years now because they keep coming back to us. And one person actually took us from one company to another company. And again, we've worked with her for over 5 years because we help them develop that strategy. That's a winning strategy.
Does anybody else have a question or comment?
So
what type of companies do you work with?
So we work with mid-sized companies predominantly. We have worked with the large pharma companies and medical devices companies, but we tend to work with mid-sized pharmaceutical and medical devices companies, or the smaller ones, because they need the most help. They're usually resource strapped, or somebody's come from a larger company and they've never been responsible for a product launch themselves in their own right. And our team take them by the hand. We have a coaching and consulting relationship where we partner with our clients to really help them through to the product launch. So it's mid-sized pharma, small pharma, and medical devices.
Was there another question?
So you're exclusively medical? Exclusively medical?
We're not exclusively medical. That's our sweet spot. We help other companies to launch their products as well. And it's down to strategy is strategy. We just have an expertise in medical because, as I say, I've been in the industry the whole of my working life. It's what I know best. But we have helped other companies launch their products.
Okay.
I do have a question.
Say that again.
I do have a question. So you charge people as a consulting them?
Yes, it's a consulting fee.
Okay, how much you charge them?
It's $3.50 an hour for our consultants. All our consultants have been in big pharma and small pharma and launched products in their own right. They have the expertise and the talent, and that what we do is we do a lot of the thinking preamble beforehand for you, so you and your team can just pull together and refine the strategy and work through it so that you can continue doing what you need to do best, shining for your company.
We're going to need to move on, but Lynn, thank you for
Thank you.
getting us off to a great start. Up next
you, Mom.
is Helen Kramer.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Hi, I'm Helen Kramer. My company is called OurApps, OurApps.io. When I first created OurApps, my mission and my goal was to help my friends here local in St. Augustine, Florida, where I live, to be able to sell their services or food or beverage or products during the pandemic when we were shut down. One of my friends, a food truck owner during the pandemic, ended up living out of his truck for quite some time due to not having a way for consumers to find his food truck easily. I ended up spending a lot of time with my friend during that time, and he also shared with me one of his other major pain points was third-party commission apps that were taking 20 to 30% of his revenue. Therefore, that was how the food trucks quickly became our niche. Now we have over 140 subscribers. We've recently relaunched our new platform that helps food trucks share their location live, which is a game changer for food trucks. So now you can tap on their app and see where they're at. And you can also, it allows these food trucks to avoid these third-party commissions from Grubhub, Postmates, Uber Eats. We know all those apps that are out there. Some of them will offer 0% for some time being, but afterwards they end up charging anyway. I feel like this is a great market for not only mobile food trucks, but also other mobile businesses like mobile dog walking and grooming, mobile cleaning services, mobile handyman services, etc., where there's other web platforms out there that take 20 to 30% commissions. So currently that's my niche, and I am looking for a possible partnership with somebody else that's in the industry. I've met George, who's on this evening. He is with Groove Club. He has a marketplace for mobile businesses to have a storefront. So there's synergy there. He'll be presenting later, so stay tuned. And if you have any questions, I'll put my LinkedIn in the chat if you're interested in talking to me about investing in OurApps. The ask is $475 for equity, and that would be 20%. And my pricing is $750 per mobile app, and I get $129 of monthly reoccurring revenue from every truck. And we also now have upgraded features and packages. And I'm also talking to another company right now about an all-in-one solution with a POS system.
Great. Does anybody have any comments or questions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Dan Purdy, Cultivate Advisors. Are you presently earning revenue or are you pre-revenue with the app?
We are now starting to bring as each mobile app goes live, they're paying their monthly recurring revenue, and we are bringing in revenue.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, so you said 149 customers but they're not all paying reoccurring revenue right now?
Right now, what happened was they all subscribed on the old software platform. Unfortunately, it didn't scale, so we only got about 40 live last year. Now we're going back and getting them to come back on board. Slowly but surely, it's just me, which is why I need a little help or a partner. But we're trying to do at least 2 a week, and the software actually pushes them live automatically. It's just a matter of getting them to connect their payment gateway. We integrate with Square and Stripe.
Okay.
And we have channel partners too, food truck builders that send us leads every single day. I just can't handle all the leads, but I'm trying to get as many live as possible.
So why not just stack them up, get them to buy in advance, give them a great price, and schedule them out for 2 or 3 months as a way of generating more revenue?
I didn't want to sell something that wasn't real, and the product just went live with no problems for a whole week with the payments going through. I've gone to market 2 to 3 times and the product didn't failed, and now it works fully functional, and I had to pay like $500,000 to get it done, but that's why I didn't want to sell something that I couldn't deliver.
No, but now you can deliver it. Why not take that approach now is what I'm asking.
Oh yeah, now we're selling. I've got 2 or 3 channel partners and we're selling. Yep. And we're getting subscribers, if that's the question.
It sounds impressive, Helen. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. We're going to need to move on. Okay, let me look. Next up is Susan. Susan DeRobitis. I'm not sure I have your last name right. You're up next.
Good enough. Good enough. Thank you, Mark. All right. Susan DeRobertis. All right. Got to get that Italian name down right. Okay. So I'm the rainmaker. So clients hire me to rescue their business from imminent collapse. And over 29 years, I've helped businesses double and triple their revenue in 9, 15 months, usually even 30% in 6 months. So it's all about success-driven results. I am your trusted advisor, your CFO business consultant. And as an example, I took a company from 80 employees to 200 employees. They hired me because they could not get their arms around their $8 million revenue in receivables. They hired me as their business coach and outside CFO. And within 8 weeks, I brought in $1 million and I collected on the other 5 mil before the end of that year. So I put systems in place, revenue was secure, operations were moving, and you are either creating a plan for success or you are planning to fail. My info's in the chat, and I thank you for being here this evening. Great to see everyone.
Anybody have any quick comments or questions of Susan? Meet Susan in the chat then. It's International Women's Day, so I'm selectively picking out all the women in the order that I see. Up next is Donna Walsh Morgan. You're on mute, probably, since I'm not hearing you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Donna Morgan, and my company, Palliative Pros. We are revolutionizing the hospice and the palliative healthcare markets with a new innovative medical device. And the need for this device is huge. And at any time, there are over 1.6 million patients in end-of-life hospice care, and 48% of this population will need help from a suction device. Our product is an FDA-registered Class 1 medical device, and it is eligible for Medicare reimbursement. It is 100% disposable and biohazard compliant compared to the next best alternative, which is an electric suction pump that is expensive and takes hours to be delivered. Our product is available on site immediately and at a fraction of the cost. We have already created and obtained patents, trade secrets, and other valuable intellectual property. Our product is ready to be manufactured through established agreements with various private label manufacturers. To grow the business faster and take it to the next level, we are seeking $50,000 in startup funding in exchange for 20% equity. This money will be used to order initial inventory, advertise, and attend trade shows and conferences.
Great. Don, I hope you'll come next week to our life sciences event and do this pitch.
I will. Thank
because
you.
I think our audience is a little bit more aligned with what you're doing. But did anybody have a quick question or comment?
Yes, Mark?
Yes.
Hi, Donna. Dan Purdy, Cultivate Advisors. Is this only human application, or do you also have like a veterinary application?
We have other markets. Veterinarians, respiratory therapists, people with life-threatening illnesses, ALS, Parkinson's, that this device would offer them freedom from being isolated in their homes to a stationary suction machine. They can go to the park, they can go to grandma's. So it's life-changing.
Okay, we're gonna move on. We hope to see you next week. Maybe we'll have time for more questions when we focus on life sciences next week. Thank you. I made a mistake and I missed Amelia Hans by accident. So I want to recognize her as our next person to pitch.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Hi, everyone. This is my first time here. My name is Amelia. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Folks Talks, and we're a software company that has created an API that enables a robot to understand and execute commands intelligently in any language spoken to it. Now imagine a world where artificial intelligence seamlessly integrates into our everyday lives, where robots not only understand the words we say, but also the emotions behind them. Picture a future where mindless machines are transformed into robo-sapiens that can comprehensively and supportively assist us in our daily routines, from home to medical care. At Folks Talks, we are not just imagining this world, we are creating it. Our unique approach to human-robot interaction is changing the game by simulating each part of language acquisition, by allowing every spoken sound and word to correspond to specific objects, their appearance, and their behavior. Our technology is the solution to solving the problem of AI. We're giving machines the ability to grasp causality, sense time and space, and think contextually. We wholeheartedly believe that the current usage of natural language processing and large language models is a dead end on the way to language understanding, because language acquisition is a step-by-step, multi-threaded process without any shortcuts. The best way to give machines true artificial consciousness is to draw inspiration from children who manage to absorb and comprehend huge amounts of data without being able to read. With our cutting-edge API, you won't have to imagine a world where robots can comprehend spoken language, interact naturally, and perform physical tasks without a display. You'll be living in a reality where you can speak to your robot just like you speak with your child, teaching it to understand you and your specific needs, and teaching it right from wrong. In the words of Gary Marcus, who is a leading voice in the discussion around the limitations of artificial intelligence, nobody will buy a home robot that carries their grandfather safely into bed 4 times out of 5. With Folks Talks API installed, a robot will carry the grandfather safely into bed, not 4 out of 5 times, but every single time. Because like any human caregiver, it will understand why it cannot drop in. Now, we're currently seeking strategic partners, especially robot manufacturers in medical care, delivery, assistant, and toy robotics for education. So if you're one of these people, we would love for you to contact us. We'll leave our information in the chat. And if you know someone who fits this description, we would greatly appreciate it if you tell them about us and spread the word that technology like this exists.
Fantastic. I'm real excited that you're part of our community, and I'd like to actually see your deck at some point, if that is possible. See how we might be able to help you out. I imagine many have questions or comments. Go ahead.
Yeah, me too. I'd love to see the deck. I can think of at least 3 people who'd like to see the deck, and I can think of some other partners that would be suitable. I'll drop my LinkedIn in the chat right now. Feel free to connect with me directly. This sounds great.
That was Blake Wynn. He's definitely someone to connect with. Anybody else?
Hello.
Go ahead.
I have a question for Amelia. Does her product give ChatGPT the run for the money?
Yes and no. It's not a language model. ChatGPT is a more technical tool. What we're talking about is giving robots the ability to maneuver their space and really communicate with people, speak to them, understand them. But yes, it could definitely give it a run for its money.
And it means that first of all, somebody has to have a robot for your product to be used at.
Yes, but it does not have to be a very expensive robot. It could be even an educational robot, like a $600 play robot. It could be any kind that has a that has the ability to see and to hear. That's our criteria.
So how does your API get integrated into that robot? Means what are the interfaces that you provide for people to easily do that?
Actually, our CEO is here today. I think he's better at answering that question. Chaim?
Yeah, I'm here. You integrate our API, it's a voice user interface, and you will be connected to the server with all the data. So you can speak one language in one environment, and from another side of the world, somebody speak in another kind of environment, and you both have the common environment. So your robot will be richer to understand different environments. That kind of interaction.
So it would be interesting to know, your website means who all have integrated, what are the types of robots that have integrated. So hopefully we can take a look at that going forward.
Do you have patents? Are there patents on this?
Yes, we do. It's a patented method.
Okay. So I imagine a lot of people are going to be interested. I don't think we've ever heard anything quite like this pitched at our events. It's kind of a standout idea. A little scary.
I'll leave the link to our website. I'll leave the link to our website, and any way you can contact us. I'm putting it in the chat right now.
Okay, awesome.
Thank
I really hope you'll keep coming back, because I have a feeling we can be part of what you're doing. I'm going to move on. Thank you so much.
Good job, Amelia.
Yeah, it was good.
Thank you.
It was a good job. Hold on, let me find who's next. I believe next is Teresa Barnes. Teresa, are you ready?
I am. Yes, thank you very much. Recently, we all watched an NFL player resuscitated on a football field. That increased awareness of emergency resuscitation. We learned that even when a heart is restarted with CPR, sometimes the patient still cannot breathe on their own. The current standard of care for breathing is part resuscitation by manual device. So it's a manual device that looks like a football, and it's squeezed to help people breathe. Emergency response teams help the patients breathe, but the manual technique has been around for 70 years and has major limitations that threaten lives. It requires multiple personnel to manage a single patient, and it can inadvertently cause harm to the patient's lungs, leading to longer times on ventilators and even can lead to death. I'm Teresa Barnes. I'm the founder and president of Fluid IQ. We developed a tiny tool that can breathe for a person who can't breathe on their own while helping emergency responders save lives. This is actually the device, if you can see that. Our solution is called Hope Invent. It's a lipstick-sized resuscitator and ventilator, and it fits in the paramedic's pocket. It's a single-use disposable and needs no batteries or electricity, and is designed to disrupt the resuscitation space. When the first responder connects our Invent to a compressor or air source, it automatically breathes for that patient. It was designed by respiratory care and emergency doctors working with engineers to create a resuscitation device that's simple and can save lives. We harness the capabilities of 3D printing and the simple science of fluidics, the secret sauce that powers our innovation and is the basis of our filed patents. Our tech is targeted at a $900 million total addressable market. We have sales distribution agreements with a national and international partner and with a network in 120 countries. We continue a 3-year collaboration with the National Institutes of Health that has produced published data on how well the technology works in the prestigious Science Translational Medicine Journal. In December, the NIH's blog, the director's blog, told the world about our technology, saying these ventilators could be a simple yet powerful tool, and will soon be submitting our technology to the FDA. We believe this tiny handheld resuscitator and ventilator will improve emergency medicine, saving lives in disasters, mass casualties, and pandemics, and saving lives on the battlefield or on the football field. We're currently raising an initial seed round of $500,000. Thank you, Venture Starters.
Wow, that's really interesting. How long do you think it'll take to get to FDA approval?
God only knows, but there is a timetable once you file. And so once we file, we believe that we should have the device cleared. It's an FDA clearance by the end of the year.
Do you have anybody in your team that has done FDA, projects and gotten through the process?
We do. In fact, one of our members has run smaller and mid-sized medical device companies, taking multiple devices to market. Also, the chairman of our board is a medical device expert who's had multiple exits. One was with a device you probably never heard of the name of it, but it's called a high-flow nasal cannula. And that is a device that was used during the pandemic a lot to prevent people from having to use ventilators. But we have a really strong team.
It sounds great. I'd like to see more about it, and just because of timing, is there anybody who has any quick questions?
Yeah, Teresa, great. This is Alan Good with BeCare Link. We work with ALS patients.
Yes.
And so we might need this for a lot of our ALS patients. So I'd love to talk to you. I sent you a message and a LinkedIn. So thank you so much.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Anybody else real quick?
Just real quick, Teresa, I may actually have someone for this. Life sciences isn't usually in my wheelhouse, but I have a VC that might be interested. So please feel free to connect with me too, and I can forward some info along.
Perfect. Thank you.
And Teresa, please come back next week if you can, because that's our life science night and you fit totally in. My wife's already sent me a text that she thinks this one's a winner. I rarely receive texts from her. So anyways, very interesting sounding. Thank you. We're going to have to move on though. To all those who have just arrived in the last 15 minutes, it's International Women's Day. So we're selectively going through the queue to pick out the women to let them pitch first, and then we'll get back into the regular queue. Up next is Tammy.
Evening. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate letting me speak. I am the COO of a company that operates in the biotech space, helping aquatic ecosystems. So it could be lakes, it could be rivers, it could be ponds, get rid of invasive species, endangered species, and biosecurity threats. The technology is patented. The company's revenue generating. The revenue model is a SaaS model, and it operates in a $9 billion market in North America. The opportunity is a growing opportunity because of climate change and weather volatility and frequently severe weather instances that we haven't seen before. So the growth in this market is more than 30% a year. And what our technology does, as I said, is patented, is it actually uses environmental RNA and environmental DNA to actually detect, diagnose, and restore sick aquatic ecosystems to better health.
Is it like making suggestions based on the inputs, or what? I'm not sure how it would work.
So what it does, the technology collects samples and then sends the analysis of the water using RNA and DNA back to our lab, and we then look at what the results are to see where the invasive species are located, where the biosecurity threats are coming from, what's going on with the endangered species. And we then know how to treat the problem so that it doesn't get worse. And in fact, one of our clients, LA, we saved them $5 million a year getting to a problem solution quickly. And we're brought in by engineers, both environmental engineers and consultants who have these big contracts, and we get plugged in with our technology. So we have plug and play technology. And as I said, we do have revenue. We're launching our Series A round. We're raising $3.5 million. We have our first small commitment of $350, but we're looking for a lead investor. So that's specifically what we're looking for.
Anybody have any questions or comments?
How much are you asking for?
We're raising $3.5 million, So right now we have 2.7 million to go.
How much in revenue do you have coming in?
We have, right now, we have, as I said, a SaaS model. We were using a project model. So our current revenue year to date is 278,000 with 200,000 of that recurring. And again, we're building, this is our first year of launch.
Nice. Okay. I think we're gonna have to move on, but please meet Tammy in the chat. And I'm gonna actually mute everybody because we seem to have a little bit of background noise, and we'll start over again.
Thank you.
In terms of, yeah. So yeah, meet Tammy. Let's see. I'm only able to pick women out based on seeing a video. So if any of you are women and your video is black, I apologize if I'm missing you. Up next is Callie.
Hi, Mark. Thank you for hosting tonight for International Women's Day. I know I say thank you every time I talk to you in front of everyone, but I really appreciate you giving all the ladies the forum. And Helen, I need to talk to you because I forgot that my cousin's husband is a lawyer at the food truck union in Manhattan. And I feel like that could be a really big tie-in. And I got that as a text message from my dad from Florida. So I would like to also say you're now in Boca.
Yay, Callie, thank you for the support.
Helen, I love it. Okay, so message me on LinkedIn later. Mark, I'm working on a few things as an agency, but one of them is a product from Israel that's like the keratin hair care treatment from Israel, but not as damaging and not a permanent treatment. And the product is already in 5,000 salons in New Zealand, as well as in Australia and in North America, along with Israel. So I'm hopeful that if someone's in salon distribution, like beer or wine liquor distributors, someone reaches out because they want to be in every really high-end salon and spa, and I can send out samples to everyone. And since it is International Women's Day, if you message me on LinkedIn and you tell me you want samples, I can get it for natural hair care or chemically treated hair care, and it's free for the ladies, especially if you're in marketing. So happy International Women's Day. Beyond that, Mark, if there's something that I can do to help any other ladies, please be in touch. And I'm done.
Thank you. And you're a leader among the women founders in our community. Appreciate what you do. Up next is, well, does anybody have any quick questions or comments I should ask quick? If you're interested, get in the queue, get with Callie so you can get a sample. Up next is Yi Ming.
Hi, how are you, everyone? Thank you for celebrating Women's Day, and this is super honored to be here. My name is Yi Meng. I'm the founder of ColdCarding.com. What we do is, I know everyone probably, shopping online, but online shopping is pretty much you shop alone, and when you have a question, you share products, links, or screenshots. So what we do is to create a shopping cart that you enable your friends and family to join in and shop with you without the location or distance matters. So it's a collaborative shopping, but you check it out separately. We currently have Walmart and Amazon, Alibaba, and 300 brands a partnership with over 40 million products. What we want is to improve our online shopping. So I started this in 2020, and when I graduated from Penn State, I just want to build a product, which is just launched July 20. And I just really want to share with everyone. We just got funded for 100,000, and we're looking for addition 400,000 to find investors in here, or if anyone could interested for e-commerce shopping, that would be great. And another thing, the opportunity actually in the US is $12 billion for affiliate marketing. And we believe we are the biggest affiliate marketing players in here. And thank you so much.
Is the software already developed, or are you raising money because you need to still develop your software?
Yeah, the software is done. You're welcome to go to cocarding.com. Actually, I'm going to type it in here. You can try it. You'll be able to shop with your mom, with your sisters, you know, family kind of connected in the cart. And anything you add to your cart, your friends and family, which is invited, will get notified. So it's more like a personal shopping. At the same time, it's like, you know, like family time, friends time.
Okay, anybody have any comments or questions?
Is it gamified in a way? You mentioned that it's fun and it sounds like playful. So I just want to understand, how would the family interact?
Yes, you'll be able to chatting at a card. So normally when you're shopping online, as we female, you know, we send the links back and forth with a couple people, right? This way you just add the product in the cart. And when you add it in, your family get instant notification. So they be able to check, and they also be able to add a product to your cart. This is a collaborative shopping, and we're always doing it. We just don't know, because the current e-commerce like Walmart, Amazon doesn't support this function. You generally don't want to share your password to your, you know, cousins or friends. Only be able to share
if the two of us, we put a t-shirt in a shopping cart, I can comment on it and you will comment at the same time on the same product. Is that data on your server, or is it on Amazon server? Because the data alone, okay, that alone is extremely valuable.
Yes, so the data is the big thing, and the commission as well.
Okay, very interesting. Well, does anybody else have any quick questions? Yi, thank you very much for presenting. Meet everybody in the chat. The last woman that I can see at least a picture of is Janya. I'm not sure I have pronounced your name correctly, but you're up next. You got your picture is a static picture right now.
Hello.
And we have some background noise there. Okay.
Hey.
So Janya, are you going to be able to present?
Yes, Matt.
There we go. You're up.
Hey, hi, how are you? I'm good. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to talk at Venture Starters. It's a really wonderful meeting. I have been referring this to multiple businesses as well. Let me not waste time. I'm the founder and CEO of My B2B Network. It's a B2B marketplace and lead generation platform. We help businesses to solve two biggest problems. One is outsourcing their technology services or marketing services, financial, insurance, bookkeeping, accounting, financing, any services. If they would like to outsource, we have made the process very, very simplified. And the other part of what we do is we generate strong leads. Generally, any lead gen platform will provide with cold, warm leads, but we provide highly qualified leads. We take the cold leads, nurture them to warm, hot, and then make them really strong and highly qualified for any business. And then we provide them so that they have the privilege to submit quotation by looking at the whole requirement for the services they provide. So I'm very glad to be here. I'll be putting my my details in the chat. Please connect me and let's see how we can help each other. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody have a question or comment? Then meet.
I have a question.
Okay.
Sure.
Is it up and running right now?
Yes, it is, Joe. It is.
And are you also hiring people? So this is really outsourcing people maybe outside the US, right, to do this work?
Right. So we are connecting. It's a global platform. Right now, we have US, Canada, India, and Philippines businesses registered with us so far.
Okay. So I know a team of people that are looking for this type of work to help support you. Would you be interested in connecting with them, or you have plenty of help?
No, I would be definitely interested in connecting with them. Please put your details in the chat. I would be happy to connect with you, Mike.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. And I just want to ask one, did somebody else have a comment or question?
Can I ask one quick question?
Yes.
Sure.
I'm curious as to what type of services you focus on. Is it mostly software, or can you give some more details on that?
Sure. Right now, we have 200 plus categories. We have a good strength with all these 5 categories: technology services, all kind of marketing services, virtual assistant services, bookkeeping services, and training services.
Wonderful. By the way, I'm from Thai SoCal Angels. I'd love to connect with you offline and see if we can invest with you. And I'm interested in some services as well. So let's connect offline.
Sure, that would be great, Danwal. I will do that. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Can you put your company details on the chat, please?
Sure, I will.
And then, so are there any other women that would like to present? You'd have to raise your hand. I think I've gone through everybody who at least has their hand raised. If I've missed you, just raise your voice so I don't accidentally miss somebody. Otherwise,
hello. I'm Ozma.
Oh, there you go. There was no picture, so I didn't know it was.
Oh,
good.
Let me wear my hijab. I'm sorry.
Mark, you see Alina?
Hi, Mark. Alina, Demeter, hi.
I don't.
I know some of you here. You look familiar. I know Dabal from Thai SoCal. Hi. My name is.
Nice to see you, Alina.
Hey, hi, everybody. Good to see you. Okay, I'm located in Orange County, California. I speak 4 languages, and I'm working on another 3. I have background in medical, legal, politics, international, global ambassador, situation. And I have connections with world leaders, The products that I'm looking to create, I have about 8 different products in different verticals that I have created that is going to help us to communicate, essentially communication devices and education devices that are going to distribute globally. One of them, I'm calling it Geo, and this is a 3D rendering of the Earth with basically, so in other words, you'll be sitting at your computer and you'll see like a hologram, on your right-hand side, for example, if you can imagine this. And on this hologram, we will have all the different infrastructures that are being built on the entire Earth. What's encoded, of course, it's not going to be in detail. So that anybody who wants to find out information about a particular vertical, for example, they will be able to use this communication device to see in real time what is going on in the entire Earth, This is going to integrate holographic technology and or artificial reality, virtual reality technology. And then we're going to have people feeding into this device, including NASA and various governments worldwide. We're going to be tracking natural resource use. A lot of this has to do with the Paris Accords. We've signed Paris Accords, and yet nobody really knows. Everybody's just kind of swimming and trying to do what they're doing in the various parts of the world. They're having, I don't know how many meetings, but it seems to me that we don't have a centralized place that tracks what is going on. Not only that, we have all kinds of technologies that are being developed all over the world. I've been tracking all this on my Spotify. If you look at my Linktree, on my LinkedIn and my Linktree, I have been doing podcasting for the last 3 years in every single vertical of everything that's being developed worldwide. And I cannot keep track of this information. So this is why I want to develop this 3D visual way of virtually being able to see this information. This will be useful for anybody who is interested in basically developing in any vertical. This will be for VCs, this will be for startups, this will be for people who want to do mergers and acquisitions, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so this is one of the products that I'm developing. I have Elon Musk who is interested to invest with me, but I'm in the process now. I've got to develop my deck. I don't have a prototype. I don't have anything. It's on a piece of paper at this point. Okay, so I'm seeking pre-seed investment. This is one of my inventions, but I have others. There are about 7 or 8 others that I have. I don't want to take up all the time. The other is a communication device that verifies, bio-identifies the person who is communicating with you. By the way, every single platform other than Zoom where you can see the person does not verify the identity. We have $1 billion cybersecurity problem worldwide, if anybody's been paying attention, because people are impersonating public figures and non-public figures. And so it's very important that we bio-identify, okay? I already have the companies lined up for this, and I'm looking for, again, seed investment and also people in different countries that can connect me with who is necessary, because we need to have a government and private partnership for this particular device. And this is a separate device than the one I just described. Then I've got programs with regard to science and technology education for children. This is going to be an international diplomacy project run through various institutions in the world, mainly museums and educational institutions, but this is targeted toward elementary and middle schoolers to help kids and adults learn basic science and technology subjects, which many of them don't know. My mother is a physicist and my father is an electrical engineer, and my grandfather used to run a country. He alphabetized 25 million people in 5 years from 1945 to 1950 with no technology. We have technology. I want to do it faster, okay? And I have a technology that I want to use to do this. It's an entire program. These are just a few of the projects that I've been working on. Everybody is very excited. It's also going to be a television show, so it's going to be like a edutainment. We're going to combine television with actual educational programs with a network, international network through existing institutions that are already funded and that already exist. So I've just described 3 of my projects. I think that's enough for now.
It's enough for one night.
I'm looking for pre-seed funding. That's what I'm looking for.
So, just real quick before others jump in, do you have teams for these? Like,
no, I don't have any. I need money. I've been sitting here. I need money. I can't do anything if I don't have any money. I need to incorporate. I need to have a prototype. I need to, get quotes.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Anybody have any comments or questions?
Yeah, Alina, this is Kurt, long time here. You need to pick one of these projects and you need to be focused. We can teach you how to go get the teams.
It's a question of who gives me money. If the person wants to give me money,
I can help you with your fundraising
then
approach.
We'll move forward. But if I have no gas in my car, I can't do anything. Okay, that's the problem. Yeah, so that's where we are. Thank you.
Anybody else real quick?
Yeah, sure. I just looked at your, Alina, I just looked at your profile on LinkedIn, and it even looks like there's some sort of, there's some parallel to what, the science and the physics behind what you want to do on some of your work and myself. And so it'd be interesting to connect. I mean, I know you got 3 projects, so you don't want to.
That's fine. Connect, please. Let's, I'm looking for synergies as well. These projects are not going to get done by myself. This is something that it's a collab. It's almost like we're going to be pulling hopefully Twitter data on this, just pulling what's on Twitter and making this. I've already talked to Elon Musk about it. He's very interested. And he's made a verbal commitment, but we don't have the funding yet because I'm in the process of working on the decks. I want to show him the deck and all the financials and so forth. But yeah, so yes, please, Fenton, please get in touch with me. Let me put my info in the chat. Where are you located, Fenton?
I'm in Minnesota.
You can hire Alina. You can go Fiverr to get $50, $100 to make a pitch deck. If Elon Musk is interested, you hit what they called hit iron when it's hot, right? Do it, girl.
Yeah, I mean, I know about Slide Bean and I mean, I have a pitch deck. It just, technology has been going so fast. Everybody knows this, that next thing you know, we turn around and there's ChatGPT or there's whatever that came out and everybody's scrambling to learn this and learn that. Everything's happening really fast. And so this is where I think that the communication devices are so important. How we
Alina,
get
I
our
think
data. I spend half my day looking at the news. It's
let's
too much.
let the next person,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Okay,
it's-
thank you.
Okay.
My advice would be to practice in smaller rooms. Like I don't have time to pitch that, maybe next time. Too many ideas. If you
There's a good, that is a good comment. Try and stick to one idea at a time. Okay, we're gonna move on. We missed Asma. Asma, I'm so sorry. My apologies. We want to hear from you next. And you're on mute or we're not hearing you. Sorry.
All right, so my name is Ozma. I'm the founder of ServyFast. It's a platform for businesses to quickly and easily post job openings for immediate hire, such as, for example, a barber puts himself in available, and people that need to get a haircut are able to say I need a haircut. The barber can put himself in available, and they could accept the job as soon as it appears. It's like Uber, but for services. So this is an app that I started. It's in stores and Google Store right now. It's soon to be in the Apple Store. I do need some seed money, hire a team, so we can get this business up and running. But I'm going to do a few different services on the program first to see how it is, and then we're going to increase it later.
Like what example of what would be the services you're thinking of starting with?
So ServyFast is going to be, for example, let's say a restaurant needs a server. They're not able to predict demand, at that particular day, and suddenly they're busy. So they need a server really quickly, or a waitress. They could go to ServyFast and find themselves a waitress or a waiter, a server. Somebody needs a haircut. And then cleaners, a cleaner calls in sick for Airbnb, they need a cleaner. So those are the three services that I'm going to focus on now. Maybe later, since my husband's a dental hygienist, he's kind of in a similar app, but I'm going to do maybe medical in the future. But right now I'm going to, focus on these three services.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments? Meet Ozma in the chat then. Up next is Hamida. You're on mute still. There you go.
Oh, okay. All right. My name is Hamida. And I am a founder for Hobby Applications. I'm a founder / project manager. So what Hobby is, I'll just tell a story on how I came up with the idea. I think that's the best way to explain it. So I wanted to learn how to hula hoop. It's a very simple thing, but I went to YouTube to learn how to do it, and it was just videos. And when I got stuck, I couldn't really find outside help to know what I'm doing wrong, or show me the right way to do something. So I tried to use Google. I'm like, hey, any hula hooping places near me, and I couldn't find really anything. I found a circus school, and they were asking for $80 an hour to teach me. And then I kept thinking, I know for a fact there's someone in Boston, that's where I'm based, who knows how to hula hoop. And I'm sure they would probably charge me like $20 or $5 to teach me, but there was no way for me to find this person or how to connect with them. That's how I came up with the idea for Hobby. It's an in-person and online skill sharing platform. And basically what it does is it connects the average person. Let's say, you're like a nurse, but you know Spanish, or you know how to cook like a really good, turkey or whatever, like you're a good cook in like a Japanese cook. You can go on the platform and you can host classes or show what skills you have. And then people who want to learn those skills will go on there and connect with you. So basically the whole motto is that we will provide mentorship and support for any hobby or skill that someone tries to get into. We will be working with average individuals, and we will integrate businesses in the future. So right now, where I am is we have an MVP that is out on iOS and Android. And on average, we have about 300 users a week. We began marketing about 3 months ago. So in terms of team, I have a development team working with me, and I also have a marketing team that just started working with me. What I am looking for is connections and funding. Yeah, I know like this field of startups works best if you have the right connections. I'm trying to find mentors, advisors, and also investors. Thank you.
I think you've come to the right community, and I hope people will be interested. Does anybody have any quick questions or comments?
I recommend strongly that you pick a niche and you go rock that community niche first before you expand into all of them, because you're going to have a hard time hitting every single vertical that people want to be mentored in. So pick one or two that are really native and go after that. I'll help you put together your community approach.
Okay, that sounds good.
That's good advice. I think we're going to need to move on. You guys can all meet in the chat. I want to just thank the women who took the first hour, and I was so happy to see we had so many women that wanted to pitch tonight. I guess it is true. We probably could do an all-women event in the future, given just what I witnessed here tonight. But we're going to now finally circle back to Mohammed, who's been very patient in the #1 slot for almost the entire hour. So you're up next.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Can you guys hear me fine though?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Mohammed Tahir. I'm the founder and CEO of Creative Logics. And thank you for joining the session today. I'm very excited to tell you guys about the product that I've been working on for almost a year now. I have shared my pitch deck and some information in the chat if somebody wants to connect or look at my pitch deck. So I have over 20 years of experience in the software industry, including co-founding a fintech company and working for Amazon. And I have observed challenges faced by startups and SMBs when adopting cloud computing, because cloud experts are expensive and most of the startups do not have cloud experts on their teams. So the resulting projects are like 66% have security lapse, 75% of the projects are over budget, and 38% are behind schedule, and so forth. So that made me found Creative Logics, which will enable, or it's Creative Logics to be the cloud center of excellence for technology startups and helping them harness full potential of the cloud while ensuring security, compliance, and enterprise-grade infrastructure. So how we do it? We do that using our turnkey solution Accelerator, which is a developer-friendly framework available in major programming languages like Java, .NET, Python, TypeScript, you name it. Accelerator will eliminate the need to hire expensive cloud architects or security experts when building cloud applications. So your developers can just write 5 to 10 lines of code in their favorite programming language and get a state-of-the-art infrastructure provisioned for them in under 10 minutes. So they can focus on building business differentiating features. So Accelerator is available on a subscription-based model currently. You can check out our website for details, and I've also posted some demos for you to look. And as a business adopting Accelerator, you will get faster time to market, security and compliance out of the box. I've heard about scalability issues in the app, so Accelerator provides scalability and observability, increased developer productivity, and best of all, it gives you a competitive advantage over your competitors because you can take your product to market sooner and not have to worry about re-architecting once you start gaining customers and so forth. So we are positioned to disrupt $100 billion consulting industry and are looking to raise $1 million at this point. We currently have some customers, but obviously I don't have a marketing team, so I want to grow my business. If you are a person who's A+ in marketing, you can join me as a co-founder as well as a CMO. And with that, thank you so much for giving the opportunity. Happy to answer any questions.
It sounds great, especially saving that much time. Does anybody have any comments or questions? I'm surprised. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Yep.
Does that include, what about on-prem? What about people who?
So currently we're only AWS focused. So people who are trying to either migrate their product from on-prem to AWS, because cloud just provides so many benefits, right? Which on-prem obviously does not provide. And also
only
currently,
for 4 or 5 years.
Sorry?
Only for the first 4 or 5 years.
Yes, so that's where actually the cost optimization and everything comes in, because we have optimized, we are trying to do as much serverless as possible to the extent of solving the solution use case. So serverless is the best bet for startups especially, right? And we are not trying to touch enterprises at this point for one reason. Even though it's an enterprise grade solution, they are mostly running in on-prem, plus their sales cycle is so long, and I don't want to get bogged down into the sales cycle. But yeah, it's a good question.
Are you familiar with Ballerina and Jolie?
Familiar with the no.
Might be worth looking into.
Okay, all right, I will. Thanks.
Well, I have a quick question here. Being in technology for 15 plus years.
Sure.
Two-part question. First, are you going to expand your offering to Azure and Google services? And then the second one, how are you solving for the complex issue of the DevOps segment?
Right. That's a great question. Our product, so I'll answer the second question first. Our product is designed for startups so that they don't have to hire a DevOps. You just write 3 to 4 lines of code, and the whole infrastructure is built for you behind the scenes based on all the best practice recommendations from AWS, security, compliance, NIST, PCI, all these security compliance standards we look at. And so in a way, if you're starting up or it's SMB, you don't have to hire DevOps. Your developers can do all the work for you because it's available in the programming language that they already understand. So the first question is, we are highly optimized on AWS. So I'm not trying to do a multi-cloud strategy, because that's where issues start coming in. You're trying to do the least common denominator, and you cannot optimize on any one of them. So I recommend my customers also to do one cloud, just go all in on that, so that you can be highly optimized and running in that cloud.
I would strongly urge you to consider Azure, because I know the company that I work for during the day spends about $1 million a year in Azure. So it's a very rich marketplace. But follow-up question, so are you directly competing with applications like Terraform?
Yes, so we are. And the reason is Terraform is designed for DevOps. So the developers do have to learn a new language, right? A new declarative language, which is not ideal. Our product is helping the developer persona so that you don't have to deal with learning something new. They already know the programming language. They just write, link to our product as a dependency, and then they can get up and running in under like 10 minutes.
Okay, we're going to need to move on, but I'm glad we got some good questions in there, because it does sound fascinating.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Up next is James.
Hi, Mark. Good to be back. James Lupino, co-founder of Risk AI here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We are addressing the AI training industry. AI is growing in a very hot industry, as you know, but there's many problems. It's unsustainable with the current hardware. The models are getting too large. Power consumption is high. Predictive accuracies aren't that good. And basically, it's a black box. You don't know why you're getting the predictions. We are implementing a novel new method of AI training. It'll be faster, cheaper, better. It's employing a new area of mathematics called interval modal arithmetic. And computer chips these days from Intel and NVIDIA cannot do interval arithmetic efficiently. They weren't designed to do that. So what we are doing to scale the technology is developing our own RISC-V processor, which will modify the circuitry a tiny bit, but enough to make it very efficient. The benefits of this technology, it's non-statistical. There is no guessing of the weights and many iterations to try to find the optimum solution. We can guarantee the optimum solution. It will find the global minimum when you're training. And also there's a explainable output. There's a heat map that points back to the inputs and the relevant nodes. So you get explainability built in. Case in point, we did a project at McGill University. They had 1,200 biomarkers, hoping to find the needles in the haystack that would say which ones are relevant to colorectal liver cancer. We were able to solve that in 45 minutes on a laptop compared to 18 months where they got nowhere with the existing methods. We are also making some very good inroads with the US Space Force. We've been participating in the Igniter program and had some calls recently, more planned. They see our technology as a game changer for enabling the US to win the space race. We have two asks. One, we're trying to raise $15 million to get the ASIC off and running. And we're also looking for customers. So if you are, right now we can train models on software emulation. We have a group of Windows computers. It's very slow, but we can still solve relatively small models. So if you have a project you want to train, you're looking for the needles in the haystack, reach out to me and we'll be happy to talk to you and do a project. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
James. I like what you're doing. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Yes, I do. Sorry, this is Jeff Cohen. I'm interested in your project for two reasons. First of all, the math algorithm you're working on is really intriguing to me. I've been looking at it because if you're non-statistical, then you're going to get away from the easy manipulation of things like ChatGPT, which are totally statistically manipulated, which makes them very susceptible. So I'll put my information in the chat, but definitely we're going to have an offline conversation because I like the methodology that you're doing, and I may have some investors to help out as well.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jeff.
Anybody else?
Yeah, it's Haimesh talking. James, it's very interesting. It's really match, so we can speak. It will be a great cooperation.
Yeah, I did reach out to you on LinkedIn. So
Yeah. I saw it. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on. Up next is Lee.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I got a 2-minute video, and here we go.
I am Lee Hinman, CEO at My Marketplaces LLC. My patented 24/7 e-quotes will be a disruptor to Angie. In 2021, they had $1.6 billion in revenue. They only match buyer to seller, no instant quotes. We match and provide multiple instant quotes.
I'm not seeing the video.
Multiple phone calls asking for option
It's
answers.
audio.
Then they put info into their spreadsheet, email the quote, then make additional follow-up calls. I have a functioning patented SaaS e-commerce/marketplace engine. 200+ million service industry websites spend $15 to $25 per hour calling prospects to get option answers so they can provide a dollar quote. We provide a reduction of the 8 order flow steps to 3, and it only costs $1 per day with automated self-serve quotes. The product is for the micro and SMB service industry companies, examples cleaning house, moving, and etc. that need answers to multiple option answers before they can generate a dollar quote. Customers will put a link on their site instant quotes to our SaaS site. They get exposure on our marketplace where prospect answers the option once, then it is sent to the selected multiple service providers within desired miles. Our wizard allows the site admin control of the option question words, allowed answers, and the ability to math calculation of the quoted dollars. I have run out of money to hire marketing talent. I have renamed product from CP Card to 24/7 e-quotes. Past CPQ acquisitions history $715 million to $2.8 billion. It has a total available market TAM of $38 to $444+ billion for the 3 offerings. Lee Hinman, the inventor, 100% owner, a 81-year young sole proprietor needs to retire. Seeking merger or acquisition in low 7 figures. Details at www.mayamarketplaces.info. You can help fill this void and save many man-hours.
Okay.
That's interesting. We haven't had that type of a pitch before. Does anybody have any questions or comments? I guess maybe we didn't quite hear or grasp it all. Is there a website or a place that we might be able to see visually what you're doing, Lee?
Yeah, myemarketplaces.info is a site that has links to the several other websites.
Okay. Well, we will try and learn more about what you're doing in the future. Thank you very much for pitching. We're going to move on. Up next is Amajaj. Please tell us how to pronounce your name better than I just did, I think. Oh, did we lose that person? Hold on. Oh, that was interesting.
Sorry, I was on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Amajaj, not a bad
Okay.
pronunciation.
Okay, there you go. Good. You're up.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amajaj, and I'm the head of business development for Mobile MSK. Mobile MSK is building a one-stop shop software as a medical device platform for the virtual management of chronic back pain. Back pain is the #1 cause of disability worldwide. If you've ever experienced a pain or injury before, whether it's from sports or an accident of some kind, you know that your life changes significantly overnight. You have to move a little differently, change your routines to accommodate these changes, but with a little bit of rest and rehab, the pain ultimately goes away. But for those with chronic back pain, it doesn't. Here's the problem. If the chronic nagging pain wasn't enough, imagine waiting weeks to even schedule a consult, let alone see a clinician regularly. And not only can you not live your life how you used to, but any hope of answers or things getting better is weeks apart. And the pain doesn't improve with time, it gets worse. Sadly, this is the case for 1 out of 3 people in the United States. Brick and mortar offices and 30-minute appointments are just not enough. Enter Mobile MSK. Mobile MSK is building a software as a medical device platform that provides personalized and data-driven solutions to improve the quality of life for patients with musculoskeletal pain, and it empowers clinicians to use that data to provide optimized and personalized care. This platform handles everything from booking your first consult and regular follow-ups to tracking your progress and providing your clinician with high-quality informatics so your care continues outside of the office. Our algorithm walks patients through a series of tried and tested rehab exercises based on your unique localization of pain. The algorithm learns about your pain specifically and uses your feedback to learn what works best for you. The clinicians review this data and use it to further personalize your care. The weeks of waiting for your pain to be treated are no more. And now the care is just minutes away and a better life is possible. Furthermore, Mobile MSK makes it easier to connect with a supporting community, so now you don't have to deal with your pain alone. Currently, we're seeking angel or pre-seed investment support to support our prototype technology and our first pilot. The future of medicine is precision care and digital monitoring. For those with chronic and emergent pains, the solution is here, it's now, and it's Mobile MSK. If you're interested in helping move Mobile MSK to the next level, please reach out to me. I'd love to connect with you. I will put our website and contact information in the chat now. Thanks a lot.
Hi, Amajaj. It's Alan Gilbert. Do you know about a company named Kaya Health?
Kaya Health? No, I haven't heard of them yet.
I would look them up. They raised $123 million and they're in your space. So I would just take a look at them and see how you compare. Because when you start to pitch, people are going to, I'm assuming, are going to say, how do you compare to them?
Sure. Appreciate it.
KAIA Health.
I have a question.
Sure.
I have a question.
Yeah, I do too.
Does your app include lifestyle choices like health, eating, nutrition, daily exercise? Does it include all of that, or does it only deal with the medical aspect of it?
It can. That's something that we're open to. The nature of chronic pain and like musculoskeletal issues is more so about how you target those muscles specifically.
No, it's not. It's more about I'm sorry, I've lived in chronic pain for 20 years. So it took me many years to figure out what the answer was. And it's a whole lifestyle thing. It is not just targeting particular muscles. You really got to change a lot. And I love the sound of your app because I think it would be very, very helpful to people, but only if it includes more than just the medical devices and the medical appointments, because it really means to get out of chronic pain, you really have to change your whole life. And that means healthy lifestyle living.
I think we should definitely connect them. I think you'd have some profound insights for us.
And I have a question too, because I too deal with chronic pain, and mine is not muscular. I have four herniated discs and a bulge in the spine.
Okay.
But my question, in dealing with frontline doctors who deal with a lot of chronic patients themselves, how are you going to kind of recruit, the frontline doctors? Because again, you have an aging population, but you also have a younger population that's getting a lot of these conditions earlier because they're not taking care of themselves or, doing that due diligence with their health. So how are you kind of recruiting the frontline doctors that patients still care to see, as opposed to what ZocDoc did and, blew it out and basically just took everybody's information and made it seem like they had this plethora of doctors, and most of the doctors hadn't even signed on. So I'm just curious as to how you're going to manage that. Mm-hmm.
No, definitely. I would say what it is so the initial revenue strategy is definitely fee for service. So that's kind of the incentive for these clinicians to even sign on as it is. I would say the biggest thing is kind of, their brick and mortar offices can't accommodate like the high influx of all the patients that need to be seen, given how many people suffer from this nationwide. So through this software, it basically makes their clinical interactions a lot more efficient and a lot more profound. So it eliminates redundancies and allows these offices to take on more patients. So it's really a win-win for all. That's what the dream is. Does that answer the question?
Kind of, but is that machine going to come to somebody's house and actually give them that steroid shot? Like those of us that, actually need the actual medication. I mean, that would be great if you could do that. But we'll talk. I'll send my information, I'll share with you in the chat. But, I think it's a great concept, but and definitely kind of reducing the amount of patient load for these frontline doctors is something that I'm sure everybody is looking to get, but it still has to be done a certain way, and you can't cookie cut this situation. Everybody has a unique circumstance. Thank you.
We have that AI robot to do the shots that we heard about earlier.
Perfect. That's a good
Oh
one.
yeah, okay.
Everyone, I have connections to the top accelerators in the world, including Israel accelerators that are run by my friends, and the stuff that I've seen is absolutely incredible regarding medicine and pain. And I also had suffered from pain in the past, and I have overcome it. And I have a lot of insight on this. I was a medical litigation attorney for 20 years, and I also got into naturopathic methods as well. And then I'm also in touch with the accelerators. So if anybody wants to DM me, I'll be happy to give you, I'm going to put in the chat, there is an accelerator called Our Crowd. It's run by my friend Jonathan Medved. They have some of the most incredible medical technology that it's just out of this world. And we don't see it here in the United States because we have Western medicine or we're kind of behind, in my opinion, here. Mm-hmm. But I have a lot of information. So please DM me and I'll be happy to share. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, that was great. We are going to move on. Next up is Henry.
Hey, everybody. Mark, thanks for hosting it. First time, happy to be here. My name is Henry Arrowwood. I am the founder of FarmShare. FarmShare is an online farmers market connecting independent food producers directly with consumers, basically like Etsy for food. I started the business after moving from San Francisco, where I was working in e-commerce and fintech, to a ranch in Montana during the pandemic. And I served as a ranch hand before and after I was working my fintech job, and was quick to recognize a lot of the inefficiencies plaguing that industry. And when I took a little bit of a deeper look, it came to find out that it wasn't just isolated to beef. The entire food industry had a lot of inefficiencies for the independent producers who wanted to find more direct channels to market, but are right now forced into selling into industrial agriculture. If a producer wants to go direct to market, they've got to sell through some pretty inefficient channels, farmers markets, local farm stands, local deliveries. And so I decided, given my e-commerce platform, our background, that we would create an e-commerce platform to bring more connection direct from producers to consumers. We launched a beta in October with 50 producers, from Wagyu beef producers to oyster farmers. And we're tremendously successful in proving out the clear value proposition of our platform. For producers, it's cost-effective and convenient channels for them to connect direct to market. And for consumers, it's all of the benefits of shopping at a farmer's market, but with the convenience that the modern consumer has come to expect. We're raising our pre-seed right now. We've got 300,000 committed on the round. We're raising $1 million. The main use of funds is to onboard this over 600 producers we have in pipe, and really expand, what we've been able to demonstrate at a small scale all across the country. So thanks for the time, and let me know if you have questions.
Do the farmers ship?
Question.
I mean, are they shipping their products?
Correct. Yeah.
Is that
So
how
we have
it
a,
is?
yeah,
And
we
then
have a
is it more expensive to the consumer than going to the store?
No, it's not. You have to compare quality to quality. So it's not going to be like Walmart quality, but if you're comparing it to Whole Foods, it's cheaper than Whole Foods. To your first question, we're a capital efficient model. We don't own any assets. We don't own any warehousing or distribution. It's all third-party logistics. We have partnerships with FedEx and UPS, and we drop ship the products all across the country.
Great. Any questions?
Yeah, so Henry.
One at a time. Go ahead, David. Good to see you, David.
Hey, great to see you, Mark. Yeah, hey, Henry, I know you just sent me a deck. Thank you very much. We had, of course, invested in Grub Market a while ago, and have done quite well. I don't know how they're doing this very moment, after pandemic. But real quick, I think they answered one of my quick questions. Where are you located, though?
I'm in Denver.
In Denver, okay. We have a in-person event in Atlanta coming up called Code Launch. So I could probably get you into it for free if you want, but we'll talk soon.
Cool, thanks.
Anybody else?
So Henry,
and my sister orders a ton of this sort of stuff all the time.
Awesome.
Henry, question.
Go ahead.
This is Duran, Henry. Can you talk a little bit about your business model? I mean, I'm thinking about Misfits Market and a few other players that maybe they're not in the same vertical because their focus is to take refurbished food and sell it, the food that people don't actually care about on the farm because it doesn't look that well. What is exactly your value proposition, and how do you position yourself inside of the ecosystem? Because I didn't quite get that from your pitch.
Great question. So our business model right now is squarely focused on B2C marketplace commission. So we take a 15% take rate on all the sales on our platform. We're looking at a bigger opportunity as we continue to deepen the relationships with the producers and continue to offer value-added services to them, solutions to help manage their end-to-end business. To your second question about Misfit Markets, yes, squarely in our space. I think the main differentiator between us and them is they are a reseller of a retailer of these products. So they're buying them from the farms and then distributing out to the end customer. We never touch the product. So our real value proposition is that we're providing this authentic direct connection for producers to consumers. So as a consumer, when you're buying from Misfit Markets, you're buying from Misfit Markets. As a consumer, when you're buying from FarmShare, you're buying from the small independent rancher, farmer, fisher that's selling you that product.
Yeah, so Henry, I would suggest, because again, I'm listening, it's obvious that you know about this. You've probably done a lot of research on it. When you're communicating your value proposition, what I'm thinking as an investor, what are you extracting, or what process or methodology that you're instituting inside of the ecosystem that's going to allow some value to be extracted from both the customer and actually the producer? Because if it's just connecting the relationship, I mean, you have people that's been in the dating business that can utilize that as a vertical to get the people connected. Are you providing more efficiency at the farm level? Are you providing more efficiency to the customer, whereby when they think about the other guys, they don't necessarily say, hey, we're going to utilize Misfit Market because that's the only person that exists. They can keep Misfit Markets and find a reason to utilize your product as well, because you're adding something to the ecosystem. So I would suggest this. I'm interested in talking to you offline, but I would suggest to think about that what is the core competency that you all have that no one else has figured out that aids inside of the entire ecosystem. So if the ecosystem is 800 things, you provided 801. It's the one thing that you know how to do the best that's going to increase the capital efficiency for the producers and the time efficiency for the customers. And I didn't quite hear that, but perhaps we can talk a bit further offline and you can work out that for me.
For sure, Duran, thanks so much for your feedback. I don't want to hog up all the time here, so why don't we connect offline?
Definitely. Yeah. And thank you, Duran, because always appreciate your very smart questions. We're going to move on. Up next is Matt.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hey, you can hear me?
Kind of weak. Maybe the microphone is far from your mouth. I'm not sure.
We'll go to the headset. Is this better?
Much better.
Okay. All right. I'll do it with the headset there. The webcam wasn't picking it up. All right. Awesome. Hey, everybody. My name is Matt Millen. I'm representing the ZA X Smoke Shop, a brick and mortar business just north of downtown Atlanta, Georgia. As a minority owner, the previous ownership unfortunately had a bit of a disagreement with the landlord, so they are out. But this was an already profitable business. The new ownership group has come in. We've got everything basically buttoned up, insurance, business licenses, taxes, everything is good to go. We're seeking $100,000 to stock up on the inventory for about 20% equity in the business. And so that's kind of that's really it. It's a fairly simple pitch. It's an already profitable business. We're just looking for a little bit of money for the inventory so that we can open the doors back up and keep things moving forward. On top of that, though, we have some really cool ideas with the VR community experiences. And so, as this business is already generating revenue in year 2, we want to take this, build a media room for people to come, bring their friends, enjoy their favorite smoke and vaping products that we're selling right there on the premises, and then have this cool VR, kind of trippy VR experience for them, and then bring them back. We have a cool membership program and some different ways to kind of incentivize more purchasing and keep people, really repeated traffic coming back to the store. So yeah, I mean, that's really, I think I had 2 minutes there, but that's really the entire pitch. So if anybody's got any questions, let me know.
And does anybody have any questions?
I just have a quick one. When you said that when you're saying you're a minority owner, are you talking in terms of ethnicity or percentage of ownership?
Percentage of ownership, not ethnicity. No.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Hey,
But
real quick.
it's already it's already profit generating is what you said.
Yeah, so basically the story was the person who was running the business before had a disagreement with the landlord. Landlord says, "Hey, you're out. I'm not allowing you to renew the lease." And so they're looking for someone to take over the smoke shop. I'm part of a 3-person group who's coming in now, taking over this business that was already profitable, but the previous person who was running it took all the inventory and has left. I mean, it's a vacant building right now. In just north of downtown Atlanta. There's amazing foot traffic. We've got really good numbers there, and I mean the sales data back up the profitability of the business. But in addition to that, we've got some really cool ideas for making it more of a community hub where people come in, bring their friends, have an awesome VR kind of trippy VR experience. And they obviously can indulge in their favorite smoke shop products there that we're selling on the premises. And a membership with the membership tiers that we have as well, we think we can drive more sales than they previously had before it was just a basic smoke shop. So yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Hey, David, did you have something you were about to say? Maybe not.
Never mind. I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, good. So let's move on. Thank you, Matt. Up next is Blake.
Hi there. Great to be here again. My usual pitch
My day job is working business development for a great XR company called Quark XR. We focus on cloud XR streaming. And my boss is actually traveling from Bulgaria over to California. He'll be staying at the Boost VC office and hoping to close our final investor. So I can stop talking about our round, but still we have room just in case anybody is interested in investing in profitable XR streaming. And I should know because I'm responsible for our pipeline. But more importantly, the main thing that I do here is connect people to the other side of what I do. I have a bunch of contacts at people from Techstars to SOSV on the accelerator end, and I'm developing relationships with Honda, Renault, PepsiCo, and a few other corporates that would be interested in all sorts of things. I'm most recently waiting to hear back from PepsiCo about the latest batch of startups that I sent them, some from here, and I expect to hear from them next week. So if you'd be interested in connecting with me, I'll drop my details in the chat if people haven't gotten to me by now, and I'm glad to connect with all of you and try to help you all out.
And I just want to say Blake is always trying to help, and he's one of the true heroes of the community. Does anybody have a quick comment or a question? Or you can meet Blake. You can meet him, Blake, in the chat.
Oh, just one more thing. Gokai is still really hoping that you'll get back to him. I had him send you an email and CC me.
I'm so sorry I've been backed up like crazy, but thank you, Blake, for helping, and I will try and follow up on that tomorrow. Up next is Rajiv.
Thank you so much, Mark. I guess I'm like I think the last person in the last meeting, and it seems that my fate is not that different this time. Anywho, great to see you all. For those that don't know, I am, I think, the only marketer here that's been featured on the Guinness Book of Records for creating the world's largest campaign for Unilever. This was for the Lipton green tea launch. In addition to that, my other claim to fame is I can get anything, and I mean anything, erased, deleted, obliterated from the internet. What do I get erased? Bad press, scandal, bad reviews, private information, mug shots, anything. All your dirty laundry. Yes, we can get anything deleted and erased from the internet, so that all your deals can go through, and that when people Google you, they see only good things and no nasty things. In addition to that, if you need help with getting your product launched the right way, we have an amazing next generation state-of-the-art tool called Lily Launch Tools that was developed by none other than me and that awesome Brit that I saw lurking here somewhere, Liv Dordelson. I think she was the first person that presented and started the evening. So she and I partnered to develop Lily Launch Tools, which is a next generation strategic planning tool. And what it does is that it basically helps you visualize your strategy in a 2D environment. So you can actually see your goals, objectives, strategy, tactics, key activities, all mapped to each other, which currently is not offered by anyone else. We checked, trust me. And this is what helps for your entire team to know what's going on so that they know exactly what to do, when your launch starts. And we're offering a 30-day trial and maybe even extending that to a 60-day trial, especially for the venture starters community. So if you'd like to try that out, definitely take us up on that. And we'll be posting the link in the chat shortly. I'll leave it there and relinquish my time back to you, Mark.
Thank you. And I'm going to move on to Greg so we can try and get as many people in tonight as possible. I may be limiting on the question and answer period. Go ahead, Greg.
Thanks, Mark. Great to be back again. Hi, my name is Greg Hodgin. I'm the founder and CEO of ZC Institute. We are creating a microfusion reactor about the size of 2 fists put together, which produces a terawatt of power. We don't need deuterium or tritium or any of those rare tough to extract fuels. We're just using water instead. Lawrence Livermore National Labs, you know, the people who did Fusion about a month ago, reached out to partner with us, and we are. If they're getting on board with us, why aren't you? Our ask is 2.5 million. If you'd like to know more, I'll leave my information in the chat, and that's it. If you got any questions, ask me right now.
Yeah. Does anybody have a quick question? I mean, it's a big topic, Greg, what you're doing.
Yeah,
How do we know
yeah,
it
it kind of
works?
is.
How do we know it works?
We don't.
Good question, CJ.
Good answer.
But we do have a way to figure it out relatively quickly within the next 2 to 3 years.
Greg, I'm going to move on just because we have so many people still that want to say
Absolutely.
something
Thank you
tonight.
so much for your time.
Nathan, you're up next.
Thanks, Mark. I'll keep it brief. So I want you to imagine for a second that you have $1 million sitting in the bank and you're looking to invest in a business. Now, you're not a startup investor like the investors here on this platform. You're looking to buy a traditional business or a SaaS platform of that nature. Now, if you were to do that, you would need that cash. Now, in the circumstance that you don't have that money, you have a few options. You can mortgage your home, you can leverage all sorts of things that affect your personal credit. And what we're doing is we're democratizing that. We're building a blockchain and AI platform that allows the general populace to invest in private businesses. This platform does not exist on the market, and we are looking to make private business investing accessible to the masses. And we are currently seeking a $1 million pre-seed round. And that's all for me, Mark. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Up next is David.
Great to be here again. So following up on Nathan's comment, so you have $1 million and you want to invest, it's probably not a good idea to invest it in a software platform because most of them will fail. I founded Techies 17 years ago. We've developed software for over 60 startups during that time. A few of them very successful, but the vast majority fail. I have a lot of friends who run software development firms, and we all agree that the number is roughly 1 in 20 when you're talking with somebody who has a concept and you try to take them to cash flow, that 1 in 20 of those actually get to enough revenue where they become viable. As a result of this, I spent the last couple of years developing a methodology that I call Launch First, where we take your idea, we build a prototype very quickly of the 2-year roadmap, and then we take it to the market, and then we go and sell it, because the only proof you have of product market fit is that people are willing to write you a check to buy your product. If you can't do that with my methodology, we can pivot in a couple of weeks and test different models 2 or 3 or 4 times until you either get product market fit or you can fail fast and cheap. This is really the best way by far to try to launch a software startup. And Mark, can I mention what's coming in a few weeks?
Please.
Okay, so I'm going to prove this concept to everybody at Venture Starters in the next 2 or 3 weeks by showing you a product that we are just developed a prototype for. It's actually my own concept, and it's a way to revolutionize how networking meetings like this make connections afterward. And I just got the domain today. Anyway, it's Meet Me Next is the name of the product, and I'll be demoing the prototype in a few weeks to the group here and see how many people are interested in buying into it early. Anyway, this is Launch First. If you're looking at launching any kind of software product, talk to me before you start developing your application, because it can save you a fortune and get your product market fit much faster.
I appreciate David because he's trying to help develop a way for us to communicate amongst ourselves better and help create more positive outcomes. So David, we welcome you back in a few weeks when you're ready to pitch. Thank you so much. Up next is William Thompson.
Hey everybody, can you see me?
Yep.
Can you hear me? All right, I'll try to be quick about it. So agencies abandon millions of dollars in content from new creatives each year. More than that, millions of paying fans want exclusive content but don't know where to find it. 3BX brings those two worlds together to give them all what they've been searching for. Now, if you were an above average independent author and painter and musician, something like I was, you would earn less than $300 a month. So what if there was a platform that increased that potential by over 200% at a minimum? 3BX is the social platform for artists to collaborate with other artists, where fans support exclusive content of up-and-coming authors, artists, and musicians, and gain access to 24/7 streaming promotions of those creatives. This is all backed by a bartering and exchange system in the 3BX ecosystem. Our expert-driven Web 2.5 approach gives investors the safety and objective quality assurance of Web 2.0, but also a foot in the door of the inevitability of Web 3.0. This is the only platform of its kind backed by proprietary IP and vanguard by a C-suite with over 100 years of experience in IT security, blockchain development, and process management. And that has led to 3 multi-million-dollar exits in the last 15 years. So as an investor, your returns are forecasted partially with exclusivity rights to content, similar to Amazon's practice, artist subscriptions, not unlike SaaS methodology, and then fan donations, proven by the Patreon model. We expect to generate $20 million in profit by the end of next year through successful penetration in this multi-million-dollar market. A $5 million ask is the investment for equity in 3BX, and it will jumpstart the worldwide digital renaissance and independent artist revolution. History will only remember those who charge towards the future. So my name is William Thompson again, and you can inbox me at william@books, BOOKS, beats, BEATS, box.com. And if you don't have any questions, I can answer them for you.
We're going to have to postpone the questions and answers so I can get everybody else in that I can. But I liked your pitch, and it was well done. And thank you. I like the 2.0 idea. That was a clever little twist.
Mark, can we make sure he puts his information in the chat?
Oh, please do.
Follow up?
William, please make sure you're in the chat so everybody.
All right, I'll do that. Thank you all.
Okay, up next is Duncan.
Hi, Mark. Thank you for putting this whole thing on. It's just a fantastic and friendly environment for a lot of ideas to come through. And I've been on here before, but there's a bit of change or a milestone achieved by my company just yesterday. And I'm VeggieDome. We produce the Fruit and Veggie Keeper, which is going to be allowing people, enabling people to keep vegetables and fruit out on the table instead of putting it in the refrigerator. We're wasting 40%, over $100 a month on food that we are throwing away from the refrigerator, fresh fruit and vegetables. Also at the same time, especially after COVID, everybody, we need to boost our ability to fight diseases and viruses by eating properly. Fruits and vegetables that are fresh are really a huge difference in our life. And we are only in this United States, 10% of us are eating the number of fruits and vegetables that we should be eating for our body. Now, this week, John Sally, 4-time NBA champion, has signed with us to be a partner, and he is going to be able to promote this product, which is actually in agreement with his vision of bringing healthier diets and lifestyles to people in this planet. So he's got really great connections. We've got a great vibe, but also there's a purpose to this product. And it is actually a work of several years that I've been doing. And we've been able to make it so that this product, from $15 and $16 each unit and selling it for $60, we've been able to bring the price down to only $11 or $12 per unit. So I'm bringing the price down. I'm expanding our production. We're expanding our markets in the United States and going international with John. Thank you for your time, Mark. You're just a blessing to people in this community.
Well, thanks for saying, and Duncan, we're happy to hear your update and keep coming back with all that good positive news. Up next is Joe.
Hi, everybody. And thanks again, Mark. You are doing a great job, and we all really appreciate it. I'm Joe Nicholson, CEO at NXcast. We are a family team of inventors with 60+ years experience in construction product and material development. We have developed a unique material to make better building products, and it's formulated to be kind to our planet. We call it Elsamite. This ingenuity creates a valuable new subsegment in a $1 trillion a year construction materials market that needs green solutions now. 39% of the world's climate pollution is caused by building and construction, and 1/3 of that pollution comes from two materials, concrete and steel. Mastering many of the concerns that are afflicting asphalt, concrete, steel, and vinyl, Elsamite's secret formula produces a concrete-like composite that is lightweight, made with over 60% waste and industry byproducts, reduces emissions by 83%, and delivers real solutions that are cost comparable to other high-quality building options. NXcast will quickly spread the benefits of this technology across the globe through licensing businesses wanting to capitalize on the growing trend to green up construction. This is a big win for climate action and a golden opportunity for progress, profit, and return on investment, all by doing the right thing. We are seeking support to pilot Elsamite in a unique, small space housing concept that would be resilient, shippable anywhere in the world, and expand to 2.5 times the ship size with an easy site setup, and that would be good for the planet. You can learn more at nxcast.ca. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. I've always been interested in what you're doing. Up
Thank
next is Fenton.
Okay, so I'm the CEO of Electronis. I'm going to set my clock here for 2 minutes, if you get the point. Right. Yeah, I'm the CEO of Electronis, and Electronis will be developing the technology, chemical technology, that will keep the costs down for using data centers and data transmission and their speeds. If you think about it, this is the basis by which our Zoom conversations are occurring right now. Wouldn't it be nice in the future if it cost you $2 million instead of $5 million, instead of $5 million? It also is the basis for many apps, many websites. You'll be able to make compact devices for this. And this is all on the basis of a set of chemical technology. This is also, this is a pre-funding startup, which I've grounded. This has a lot of major potential right now. I'm now at the stage where I need to convince investors that these compounds will work. I need to make the compounds. They're not difficult to do. I know how to do this. Like I say, there's a lot of potential for this. I'm potentially looking for something around 150K, which will develop those compounds. This is in parallel to several funding proposals I'm submitting. In any case, thank you very much for your time in this. Great to hear back from people. Bye now.
Thank you, Fenton. Looking forward to learning more. You probably could find a grant that would be a good fit for you, is my guess. Up next is Norbert.
Thanks, Mark. I'm Norbert Hebrank, co-founder of Clockwise Logic, and we are a cloud platform in the process of completing our MVP. The problem that we are solving is how to sell or share a script or any other data processing tool, really, not only once, but actually presenting it as a service. Let me take a step back here. And as Mark mentioned at the beginning of the call, some of us can benefit from partnerships to help us to get to the next step. So I just wanted to mention that we are currently looking for a partner who is interested in maybe getting into this space, helping us test it, use our platform directly to support clients while helping to differentiate themselves and help us finalize our product at the same time. And I'm mentioning this up front in case we do have someone on the call who's in that space and really wants to focus on this. So it's relatively easy to write a script, but it's a lot harder to deploy one as a secure service. Our platform provides all of the infrastructure necessary to accomplish this. We deploy it, we scale it, manage access to it, all the administrative activities, and also handle the security concerns, everything needed in order to facilitate the use of these tools as a service. And just as we're preparing to launch this platform, there's been a very exciting development. OpenAI, ChatGPT's creator, has another product called Codex, which can actually write scripts for developers. We at Clockwise are uniquely positioned to integrate the Codex API into our platform, making it possible to generate code, interactively test it, iterate rapidly, and deploy directly into production, all in an automated fashion. Since our platform is essentially everything but the script or the tool, the chatbots produce nothing but the script, so this is really a great match for us. And this really just shows the flexibility of our product. It's not really what the product was designed for, right? This is just a framework, and this came up recently, and this is just a great use case for the product. And along those lines, I haven't even talked about many of the other use cases or the significant security improvements that our platform facilitates. And I look forward to expanding upon any of these with anybody that's interested. As I mentioned before, we're looking for a partner. The other option we could go with is 1.5 million in seed capital would be the other ask.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and paste my information into the chat, and thank you for your time.
It sounds interesting. Up next is Amit.
Hi, this is Amit Agrawal. I'm the founder of Talent Ka Mahotsav. It's a talent platform based in India, but it's hybrid, it's virtual and physical, so it's available worldwide. Right now, we are in the pre-launch phase. We have catered to schools in India, and we have got a huge response. What I'm looking at is $125,000 over a period of 3 years for a total investment of $375,000, and this will be a self-sustainable model by the end of second year. I'm currently in New York, and I have soft launched it in New York, and a lot of people over here are interested to showcase the talent of their children. So far, I have raised about $25,000 as private equity, but I'm looking out for the entire amount of $125,000 for the first year so that it can have a better outreach. To aid the talent platform, we already have a production house going, a news portal going, and awards and festival going. Awards and festival is held at one of the top 50 business schools in India. So thank you everyone for your time.
Thanks for calling in from India. I always love when we are truly an international event. I just want to point out that we've sort of reached the time of our event to end. And even though I always love hearing Thomas talk about his amazing teams of people and everybody else who's in the queue right now, what I'd like to do is offer all of you who've raised your hand an opportunity to come back 2 weeks from today, show up 5 minutes before we open the doors. So we'll let you in early so you can raise your hand and be among the first at the event 2 weeks from today. Next week's event is a life science focused event, and I don't want to mix and match and create confusion next week. But I've written down all of your names, and if you show up 5 minutes before the event 2 weeks from today, I promise we'll try and get you in early so you can raise your hand and be the first. My apologies that we couldn't fit everybody in. The highlight of the night for me was that we actually did find a way to celebrate International Women's Day. We did get an opportunity to let our women founders present and have mostly the night, at least the first hour. And that turned out to be fantastic and a good learning lesson that we have a lot of great female founders that might eventually make up an entire program. I'm hoping maybe in a month we'll try and focus on a women's night and see how that works. I appreciate all of you for continuing to come. I apologize to those that we couldn't get in. The demand to pitch is greater than our ability to get everybody in 2 hours. What I have found, quite frankly, is that when we do the event longer than 2 hours, our audience sort of slips away because people have to go and live their lives and eat dinner and go to the bathroom and other things. And so it just makes sense to try and limit it to 2 hours. So, I hope you all understand. We used to try and run the events longer, but that ended up being more problematic than helpful. In my opinion, it'd be better for you to be at the next event where you'll have a larger audience and we can do the Q&A and we can dive deeper. You'll have more impact and potential. So I think we'll wrap up tonight's great event. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great to hear so many amazing people. The thing that I always take away from these events is listening to all of you. The future of the world is safe. We have great innovative minds that are working on solutions, and many of them even come to our community and come to our events and pitch. And I learned a lot just listening to all of you. It's always such great fun. And for those of you that I owe responsive emails to, my apologies. I've never been so popular in my life, and I'm trying to figure out how to deal with all of the action and communications, and I appreciate it all, but bear with me. Do not be offended if I don't get back to you quickly. It's somewhat overwhelming what's been happening lately. All good, though. Have no complaints at all. Please read my newsletters. I'm going to try and make the newsletters more impactful, informative, and meaningful rather than just updates that we're going to be having an event to the next day or with this or that and whatever. I really would appreciate if you will read the newsletters because I'm putting time and effort into writing them now. Thank you all. Great event.
Bye, Mark. Great job as always.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, thank you. This
See
is
you next
amazing.
week. Oh, please sign up for Life Science event. I do have that one posted. It's on the venturestarters.com website. Love to have all of you there next week, even if you're not in the life sciences. We're going to have brilliant people talking, I'm sure. Our life science community is amazing. Thank you again. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. See you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for the William Shatner story, too.
Oh, thank you. There's more of those. I've got a Drew Barrymore story I'm about to work up as well.
Cool.
Take care.
All right.